Yo, how we doing? Trevor Burke checking in. I wanted to make a video on a topic that I've noticed has been stressed on and people wanted to understand, and I wanted to at least shine a light on it here. And that was, how do we feel deserving of good things? And the long answer we'll get into, but the short answer, the hard pill to swallow, is you're going to have to earn it. There is no shortcut to really feeling deserving, other than maybe like the ego, or these false delusional beliefs. But what we want is to have our perception and our sense of self-worth rooted in what Alex Hormozi calls is a stack of undeniable proof. So before we get into that, I really want to focus on how do we feel deserving of good things. Realize you have good things right now. And I think the secret between people that stay where they're at and people that grow and develop and obtain all the things that they ever would want is they're grateful when the amounts were small. They're grateful when, they're just starting out. They're grateful when, they're not quite where they want to be physically, but they're going to the gym, they feel amazing, and they're grateful for the journey. They're grateful for the progress they've already made. The people that are grateful when the things are quote unquote small. Okay. And I would encourage you to look at your life right now. The things that you've, passed over and ignored or taken for granted for so long, focus in on that. Okay. If you have a job that you hate, realize that's the dream of the unemployed. Okay. Realize if you have a family and a house, that's the dream of the lonely and the homeless. Realize that, if you have a car, that is the dream of the people that have to bike and have to walk. Okay, so I know that's like very simple and, okay, I get that. But actually, take that in terms of, your mentality, okay, and the characteristics that you've cultivated that have shaped who you are. Okay, if you need to find a friend, ask a parent, ask a close, acquaintance, hey, what do I do that what's a strength of mine? Realizing that we have blind spots. We're blind to our strengths just as much as we're blind to our weaknesses. And a lot of the times we forget what our strength is. If you're a good communicator, but you internally, you don't really, think that, you might not really share what you really feel like you need to share. And the opportunity to share something is such a great opportunity. Let's say your ability is, to empathize and listen and, to be that shoulder to lean on, and you're constantly selfishly thinking about you, and, there's a lot of, people talking to you, and you kind of zone out and check out. You kind of miss that opportunity to be that person, that could listen, empathize, and really be that shoulder to lean on. And, you really didn't know that because you forgot about your strengths. Okay. So remembering and being grateful for the things you have now. Okay, realizing that that's a prerequisite to attracting and obtaining all the things that you desire and feeling deserving of good things and more things. And I would think the quote unquote things, you might be thinking of tangible things like a car, a house, all this stuff. But honestly, we want to feel deserving of the intangible. Okay, the self-confidence. We want to feel deserving of the self-worth. We want to feel deserving, of the friendships, of the relationships, of the business opportunities. We want to feel deserving of that. And like I said, the short answer is, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to earn it. And that may not be what you want to hear, but the work you do in private is what you'll be rewarded for in public. Okay? The self-investment that you do now, okay, will echo through every area of your life. And one of the ways that I like to check up on myself is, I call it a life checkup. And I just go through the 5 areas of my life: mental, physical, emotional, financial, and spiritual. I just like to get a gauge of where I'm at. What do I think's going on? What are some things I'm struggling with? What are some things that I did that are wins? And just kind of check up in myself. Because, if we don't, check up on ourselves, life can go by. Time does not stop. And a week turns into a month turns into 6 months, and all of a sudden it's been a year, and you're like, what the fuck? What happened? And, we got to check up on ourselves, And we got to do that kind of that self-work, that self-assessment. And, right off the bat, when I go through that, I look at my physical body. I really, you look at your body in the mirror, and all of a sudden that image in the mirror, that'll tell you your habits, thoughts, and actions the past 90 days. So that's an easy one. You look in the mirror, that what you see in the mirror is basically telling you what you've been doing for the past 90 days. Okay? And if you don't like looking in the mirror, I would encourage you to take pictures and really sit in that pain, because that's what transformed my life, was looking at myself, looking at the scale, seeing 260 pounds, getting pissed off, and doing something about it. Okay, it came from, that pain and that suffering. Right now you may not feel deserving of things, and that's good. Okay, that's a perfect place to be, because you're at a place now where you've got nothing to lose. Okay, you can go and recreate yourself, reinvent yourself. You have the natural resources to do that. And you can quite literally change your entire life in just a matter of months by changing up here, by taking new actions and associating new feelings to that new set of actions that reinforce it. And all of a sudden, you're taking these constant acts. You're hitting the gym, you're reading the books, you're doing the uncomfortable things, you're being social, you're doing the work, you're focused on your purpose. And all of a sudden, it hits you like a wave of just calmness, a wave of just, that feeling, that deja vu feeling that you're exactly where you need to be, and you're going through the natural progression to become that version that you want to become. And I think we want to feel deserving of good things, but we don't really define what good things are. Okay, for example, the guy says he wants to travel the world. Okay, very, very, noble, very, exciting. Definitely something that a lot of people would want to do. But he's not specific enough. So what happens? Oh, all of a sudden he's enrolled in the Navy. He's on the naval ship and they're traveling the world. Okay, but now you ask him, you're traveling the world. You got what you wanted. This is not what I wanted. Okay, well that's because he wasn't specific enough about what he wanted. Okay, if you want that Cadillac, what year, what model, what color, what does it smell like? What does it look like? How's the engine? How many miles are on it? Is it brand new? Is it old? Okay, is it perfect? Is it, a vintage? What did the previous owner do? Did they take care of it? Where did you get it? All the stuff. I want you to get super specific, okay? If you want a girl, what type of girl? What type of hair? What type of eyes? What type of personality? Okay? How does she, view the world? What were her parents like? How was she raised? Okay? What are her views on, certain things? Okay? Get super specific on that. All of a sudden, what you do and what you cultivate and you activate is the reticular activating system. Short, they call it the RAS. And basically what that is, the primary function of the RAS is to filter out 99.9% of the things in your environment. Okay, right now you could be thinking about, the blood circulating through your right eardrum. Okay, but you're not. Okay, you could be thinking about, the transmission fluid flowing through your engine in your truck, but you're not. You could be thinking about the rain hitting your left windshield and your windshield wipers need to be replaced. Okay, and maybe you're not thinking about that, but now you are, because I brought it to your attention. The RAS filters out 99% of the things that are not important. And here's the thing, you decide what's important. If you decide, you know what, this is really important to me. I want to attract, this person in my life, and they need to have these values, and they need to align with me here. I want to attract, the business opportunity where I can, be a mentee for a mentor that I respect and admire and would love to emulate. I want the physical body of this person, and I want to find out what they believe. What do they eat? What do they do? How many times do they work out? And you have like these few things that are very, very, very important to you. Now your RAS is going to be like, okay, bet. I'm just going to delete, a lot of the things that are in your environment. That's why, some people are just overly angry and just anxious and they overthink, and they'll be with their friends and they're like, how are you not angry about this? And the real reason is the person that's angry, that overthinks, that is anxious all the time, their RAS is constantly focusing on what's not good, what could go wrong, or what's bad in the world. Okay, I think we all could agree, if you looked for what's bad in the world, boom, you could instantly come up with things. Okay, but it's harder, but it's much more fulfilling to look at the world and channel and really train your mind to focus on the good. Okay, because then whatever we tend to focus on, we tend to feel. And a lot of us have, a few emotions that we go to. And, to really feel deserving of good things, we're going to have to cultivate and focus on the emotions that get us to take action, get us to go to the gym, get us to introduce ourselves, say hi to her, say what's up to him. You get invited to something. You don't talk yourself out of it. You go to the event. You go to the social gathering. You introduce yourself. You put yourself in scenarios that you don't think you're ready. Okay, you put yourself in the uncomfortable place where you don't think you're ready. Okay, and all of a sudden you become comfortable in these uncomfortable environments. Okay, all of a sudden then you begin to grow. Okay, because we only grow under friction. Okay, that's why they call it growing pains. You got to go through the painful, steps of starting to really grow and develop. Okay, if you're not willing to be a student, you'll never be a master. Okay, so be willing to start and look dumb. For instance, when I started, throwing up YouTube videos, throwing up content, I looked at it, I was like, God, I hate this shit. Look at me, dude. I sound like this, I look like this. What are they gonna think? All of that stuff, okay? You're gonna have, similar thoughts in all avenues and all areas that you try out. But do it anyway. Do it anyway. Okay, because you see the bigger vision. And you want to feel deserving of those good things. And it really comes later. You want to feel deserving of things when you haven't put in the work. It doesn't work that way. Okay? But either way, guys, you guys know what to do. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for riding with me. Throw comments and questions and topics that you want me to talk about. And I'll make a video and we'll dive deeper and we'll grow together. But either way, guys, I love you guys. You guys know what to do. Carry on.